Here we will be going over some store parameters in Sunlync. So we click on the Parameters tab. First thing we can go over is payment types. These are the payment types you'll accept at point of sale. There are a lot of them listed here. If you don't accept a payment type, like say you don't accept American Express Travelers checks, you can just delete them and then they won't show up as a payment type to choose from. If you want to insert a new payment type, you can just insert one. And just type in the name. For this one, cash is already there, but we'll just do cash again. Cash, and show in drawer means that it'll show up in reports as revenue that you brought in. Some examples of not show in drawer would be like gift card, because you don't actually make any money when they pay with the gift card. You make the cash or payment type when they buy the gift card. So if you had show in drawer checked here, you would kind of be counting your revenue twice. Skin types here. When you insert a new customer, you can choose a skin type option if you want to. And these are the options they'll have to choose from. You don't have to do this, it's not a requirement in Sunlync or the customer fields, but if you just want to keep track of your customer skin types, this is where you can fill it out. Reason codes. When you do a lot of things in Sunlync, there's a spot to put in a reason code, which is like a drop-down menu, and will list all the reason codes you have put in. Like if you try to give a discount, for example, there will be a drop-down menu, and the only reason code will be discounts. If you want more to keep track of that, we can just add a new reason code. And if we pick type discounts, it will show up when we do a discount. So if we did a discount, the reason code drop-down menu would now have two options to choose from. Appointment types. If you take appointments in Sunlync, there's an option to choose the type of appointment in case you offer more than one appointment options. You know, some common ones are spray tans, for example. This button over here is points and credits settings, where if you allow points in Sunlync, like a customer reward system, this is where you can set that up. You can name it whatever you want, and if you do use points, you would need to do both cash and points, and pick a ratio for $1 is equal to how many points, and if you're going to use a rounding system or not. And next stop is who's going to pay the sales tax on that, or if you're going to treat it as a discount rather than a payment type, along with some other options down here on how you want to treat your points. The Sunlync desktop button up here is where you can set up sales goals if you track that on the desktop, as well as PPTA goals, all your other goals. Your corporate message, this is where you fill it out in this tab here. Miscellaneous, you can rename any of these PTA or PPTA options. Also, configure POS desktop is where you show or where you decide what you're going to show on your desktop. So if you did track those goals or whatnot, you would want to make them show up here. And you just click what you want to show up and you drag it over, and now your employees will be able to see those boxes at point of sale while they're logged into point of sale. The auto-populate CityState button lets you insert common zip codes. And when you insert a new customer and fill out that zip code, it'll fill out the city and the state for you, so that the employee doesn't need to type those in every time. The required fields, this is a checkbox of pretty much every field you can put in when you insert a new customer, and you can make things required here, so the employee will have to put those in before they can process the new customer. The POS sort options just sorts the order that active memberships or packages or walk-ins will show up on customers' accounts. You can edit the order that they show up in if you want to do that. Alright, that'll wrap up the first part of store parameters. Thanks for joining me.